Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to an SP Patrons video today that I make for Nancy as part of their custom multi-music review. This is the first, so welcome aboard. We're going to be checking out a track by an act named Miyavi titled Selfish Love, and if we switch over to here, you'll see that this video is like in 240p, and the reason I'm watching this video in 240p is because this song was released around the time that YouTube started getting sort of popular, and so I also got given a link to the Spotify version, but I also just want to show you the video of the person playing because he's absolutely phenomenal. He's a freakishly good guitarist. I think it's more impressive when you watch what he's doing as opposed to hearing it on Spotify, because it's hard to tell the difference if you're not someone who's more familiar with it. But we're going to listen through this track from start till finish, and we're going to hear what we think. Let's go. I mean, look at that immediately. Look at the stuff he's doing with the guitar. He's just like strumming a chord and then using his fingers to tap out a rhythm on the percussion of it. It's fantastic. It's incredible. This is so nostalgic for me, dude. Because I'm not sure if you're aware how difficult that is to do on the guitar, but trust me, this guy's not sleeping on it. That is ridiculous. He's going overhand and underhand. This is someone who's probably practiced it literally 1,000 times, and it's just one take, you know? And that little click there. I mean, holy crap, dude, this guy's ridiculous. He's working with a 12-bar blues groove. Selfish Love. Nice. Honestly, like that is a hell of an introduction to it, isn't it? Selfish Love. What a guitar solo. That is a way to start a song, because it's not like he's flexing and doing like a crazy sort of like asinine sort of sweep-picked riff or something like that. He's got to groove along to the melody that he's playing and working alongside those 12-bar indications. It's just so classy, dude. And again, he's singing whilst he does this. And I also don't think he's using guitar slides. So that's a typical guitar slide sound of wah, wah, and they usually use a little bottle cap or something. But he's just strong enough with his fingers that he's able to make that happen on his own. So classical and response between the guitar riff and him. And he's got such a swagger with the performance as well. You can see his facial expressions here. He's so cool. Like, he was one of the coolest guitarists of the 2000s. I mean, he's still cool now, you know. I think that's probably a B7 chord. A B7 dominant 7 chord he's playing, going back to an E. These are really simple chord progressions, but he's elevating it with the sass of his vocal performance, the bit of vocal fry in there. It just got like a shaker in the background as well. It's nice. Part of what makes this work so well is the minimalism of the arrangement, the accompaniment, because it forces you to just focus on Miyavi as he does this. There's nothing quite like it. Honestly, there's nothing quite like it. 2, 3, 4. The claps in the background? Sensational. Selfish love. 愛してくれ。愛してるから。これが俺の愛し方。Yeah, hear that. Again, that vocal fry, that technique there is phenomenal. You know, I think that he would at this point of his career have the technique sort of so he doesn't sort of screw his vocal cords. I'm hoping he does, because that's really hard on your throat if you're not doing it correctly. The thing is that he single-handedly made the acoustic guitar heavy as hell. Like, because this is the conclusion of my review of this track, Miyavi, Selfish Love, as part of Nancy's custom monthly music review. I'm not sure if you're aware of how much this musician inspired a lot of my mates who were into guitar at the time when I was a teenager, because this came out when I was 15, right? Or at least the video was uploaded when I was 15. And I'm learning like Metallica, Avenged Sevenfold, Trivium, and I think, oh, I can, because I learned how to do a lot of these songs within a year, right? I just played guitar every day and I got quite good at it. And then this guy comes along and you think, oh, he's got an acoustic guitar, what's he gonna do with it? And then bam, he just friggin' revolutionizes the damn thing by playing these finger tap rhythms on his guitar and doing these different 16th note slidey bits and stuff like that. And like, at the time, my mind was blown because I'm just like, that is just too much. And then someone showed me X Japan's Art of Life, which is just the live 30-minute version, and it was just too much for my little brain to handle at that point. I fell in love with a lot of these Japanese musicians at that point in time, because, I mean, like Nightmare, Garugamesh, Versailles, you know, even Alice 9, Duran Gray, etc. I fell in love with a lot of those bands at that point in time. That was my introduction, but Miyavi was one of my introductions just because of just his phenomenal sort of virtuosic skill there. I mean, like, I don't know what the song is about apart from Selfish Love. I'm not sure of further context for that because I don't know the lyrics or the translations. And that's okay, by the way. It's okay if I don't know the translations, because I can appreciate the music without even knowing what the song's about, you know? And if the music is really, really good, it'll give me a hint about what it's about from the performance. And, you know, with the vocal performance there, Miyavi gets more and more sort of like aggressive and like it's kind of there's a bit more vocal fry as we get along there, kind of like screaming at the end. So I assume that the Selfish Love is him on his own in the water, maybe from his like tears or something like that. And he's really sort of coping with the selfish love of someone who who things aren't both way or something like that. Maybe he got dumped and it was selfish. And you know what I mean? Like there was something to do with that. But what I love about his vocal performance is that there was such a swagger to the way that he sang and voiced himself and carried himself alongside those guitar parts. It's like we were watching someone who knew they could play phenomenally well and who knew they could sing well. It's just, you know, like, and then they had the whole package. They could write well, sing well, and play guitar well, as well as do the percussion on the guitar. It is no wonder to me, it is completely unsurprising to me that he was able to become as successful as he did, because this is all you need to become a professional musician. This is part of why Ed Sheeran is so huge. People love people love a guy with a guitar who has a mid to high vocal range. Literally, human beings, they did studies on it. The best vocal ranges for people to be in, the best instruments, etc. People love pianists, and guitarists, and guys with high vocal ranges. People seem to love that shit. So, you know, they're like Ed Sheeran and Miyavi, respecting their own countries and parts of the world respectively, even though, you know, like Ed Sheeran's universe are like adored, and so is Miyavi, you know, like they've got two different aesthetics, maybe two different ways of approaching their styles of music, but they're both talented musicians. I've never seen Ed Sheeran play anything like this, but it isn't a competition. But you know what I mean? Like it's just a man with a guitar can do so much. And it's one of the ways that music grew to the way it is today. You know, we talk about the 12-bar blues today. On top of Miyavi's kind of like 12-bar sort of blues, just kind of structure to this here, working with those B7s like that we did. those dominant 7th chords going into E for the 12 bars. That harkens back literally 100 years ago to like the 1920s and 1910s, 1920s, where like they were just, you know, African American men with those blues guitars talking about, you know, working on the fields and stuff like that, and just a man with his guitar achieved so much, and it's just here we go, you know. But yeah, solid vocal performance from miyavi here, followed along with the chord progressions and the root notes and the triads really well. Was sort of navigating the scale shapes effectively. Great personality to his performance there. Yeah, no, absolutely no complaints whatsoever. Great vocal technique. The variety sounded natural, dope. The theme behind it, I mean, the solo section at the start, you had a percussion played at the same time as a really sort of cool guitar groove going between the sort of the 12-bar blues kind of 1-1-5-1, etc. kind of situation that we have going on, or 1-4-1, then 5-4, etc. But when it came into him actually singing, I was like, okay, how smooth is the transition going to be into the vocal lead part? And it was absolutely flawless. You know, it was a slightly different song. I think the start part was just to instantiate him in his own, going through that mode, going through that journey he's going on emotionally. And then the actual track part was more of a sort of an explanation of why he was so frenetic in that initial solo part. And I think that's really gorgeous. Again, we had maybe like a cajon or something like that and like shakers, but that's all we needed. It's a really simple arrangement here. The 3 minutes that the main song took was too short in my opinion, because I wanted to hear more of it. And that's the power of a great song, is that it's short enough, it's short and sweet enough for you to want to hear more of it. So you repeat it. That's when they got you. You don't want to overwrite. You want to underwrite and get the person to want to hear more of it. Sensational amount of range there. Really, it's unique to have a solo then go into a main section as well. And yeah, we nailed it. We smashed it out of the park. So I'm happy with the actual performance there and the songwriting, the composition there. And I think the bluesy kind of stuff, with the blues with Selfish Love, if you think about the style of music he was playing there with those chord shapes and the power chords and the slides and everything, makes sense for the subject matter of selfish love and relationships, because that's what a lot of blues is about, to be fair, you know. It's about people struggling through relationships and all that kind of stuff and trying to figure out what to do with it. Everything else up until the recording, mixing, mastering, the audio production is great. And it's testament to the quality of the performance there and the way it was recorded, that even at 240p, even when it was uploaded 15 years ago, even at 240p, this song still sounds like an absolute banger. I can hear the quality of the vocal performance within this because of that. I can hear how crisp and clean it was and how well EQ'd it was alongside the guitar parts, which were sensational. I think he double-tracked them, which is even more of a testament to how friggin' phenomenal miyavi is as a guitarist, alongside the dum quarter note groove of those cajon or those kicks, alongside the shakers. And it just, everything was just so well fleshed out. There was a great amount of dynamic range to the performance as well. It wasn't over pumping or oversaturated with stuff. The effects chain was relatively raw as well, which made it seem like a more genuine sort of like well-balanced performance there. And like it sounded more like a real live performance there, which is kind of what we need. We don't want it to sound fake, you know what I mean? We want it to sound like someone's actually playing the guitar and singing when they're in a video like that, so we smashed that out too. And yeah, we just... honestly, I'm really happy with hearing this track again. I did miss miyavi, but to be fair, I've also never really listened to this track without interruptions before, so I'm glad I had the opportunity to do so. So yeah, it's awesome. We had some really great SP patron picks so far this year. I'm so stoked with it, man. I'm so stoked. Don't know why my nanolith panels are going dark. The nanolith panels have been going dark recently. It's been a real pain in the dick. Real pain in the dick. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Yep, you know, nice and loud without pumping, so limiting compression was done well, and leveling between the various instruments in the mix was great too. This is my SP Patrons video, my review of miyavi's Selfish Love. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do check out the various social medias. I'm sure this is on the major digital streaming platforms such as Spotify. And stay cool and stay safe, and please remember to support your local musicians and artists when time is need the help. More than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world, and I will catch you in the next SP Patrons video. Spiderhands out.